Hello and welcome to another live episode of the Leveraging AI podcast, the podcast that shares practical, ethical ways to leverage AI to improve efficiency, grow your business, and advance your career. This is Isar Meitis, your host, and today we are going to do some magic together. So even just a year ago, even just 6 months ago, creating a high-quality video for an awareness campaign for your brand, for your company, for yourself, or whatever it is you're trying to promote required multiple people with a wide variety of expertise, from video to audio to filming to editing to scripting to research, all these kind of things. And it cost a lot of money and took weeks and sometimes months to produce. But today we are going to show you how one person in less than 1 hour can do this whole thing. And I'm not talking about winging it. We're like, okay, let's create a quick video and it will be cute. But I'm actually talking about the A to Z process without skipping any step, from ideation, research, compiling ideas from different sources, scripting the video, creating images and B-roll, recording the voice and the voiceover for the characters, creating the video itself, editing the video. All of that can be done with a variety of AI tools, and you can do it on your own without any technical skills. Obviously, having technical skills or having knowledge in this topic helps, which is where this particular episode becomes even more exciting. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest today. So Margarida Barreto has been in the creative side of marketing for years. She held almost any position you can imagine, from graphic designer, art director, creative director. And in addition, she's done this both in companies and on agencies. So she's seen this from every direction possible. She's also an entrepreneur and a partner in a successful marketing and branding agency. So she knows this thing inside and out. And in addition, she's an AI expert who has learned how to apply AI tools for everything that she's doing. So she's bringing together real deep knowledge in marketing and branding and video production together with her AI skills, which makes her the perfect person to introduce this topic to us. Now, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be high pace with high value session. So buckle up and get ready to learn a lot in this session. I am personally really excited about this, and because I'm myself passionate about this, and we produce a lot of videos. So I'm really excited to welcome Margarida to the show. Margarida, welcome to Leveraging AI.
Hi, hello. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure talking a little bit about me. And also, like Izar said, I've been working in design and storytelling for over 20 years. In the last 3 years, I fully embraced the creative potential of Gen AI because I saw a huge opportunity. And more than just creating visuals that truly moves me, what truly moves me is using these tools to promote critical thinking, raising awareness, and giving a voice to causes that matter. So my hybrid series, the one I will be showing here today, is one of those projects. These are not just aesthetically striking characters, they're a form of visual activism, because I think we live in a time where biodiversity is collapsing, species are disappearing silently, and often without a face or a name. So with my hybrids, I try to give them the both of the things, like anthropomorphizing endangered animals. I want to generate empathy. I want people to stop scrolling on their feeds and start to feel something, to also reflect on the things they are seeing and be more aware. I think because when we turn this kind of things into someone rather than just something, we open the door to conversations, and sometimes people learn more things about it. So today I will be showing you how I create some of these images using MidJourney, how you can have the help of any LLM like ChatGPT to help you develop your own prompts. And now I also animate them using Edra, combining the visuals, voiceovers, and now with a major update on Edra, we can also have subtle emotions to give life to each character. And I will be showcasing the tools and workflows that I really hope it can inspire you all, because in the end of the day, I think the use of AI is to connect. We should use AI to care, use it not just to produce more, but to mean more. So yeah,
I
I'll
love
start.
that. I think being able to use your skills and your capabilities beyond work to do good in the world is absolutely fantastic. And I'm really glad that's the example that we're going to be using today. For those of you who are joining us live, so first of all, thank you so much. I see already a bunch of people on the Zoom and roughly the same amount of people on LinkedIn Live. So if you're there, go introduce yourself, say where you're from, what are you trying to get from this session, what are you doing with AI today, so we kind of know, and I'll be monitoring the chat and see over there. If you have any questions, absolutely write them in the chat. Like I said, either on LinkedIn or on the Zoom call. If you're not there and you're listening to this after the fact, whatever we're sharing on the screen, we will explain everything that we're seeing. So if you're just driving your car and you want to follow, you'll be able to do that. There's also going to be a link in the show notes to go to the YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it afterwards when you're done driving, you can do that as well. And also, if you're not on the live show, why aren't you not on the live show? We do this every single Thursday with amazing people like Margarida, and then you can come and join us and be able to be interactive and learn and ask questions and engage with other people in the chat. So all these things are a benefit of joining us live. I will say one last thing before we let Margarida take this and run us through her process. We just opened the registration for our spring cohort of the AI Business Transformation course. So we do these courses all the time. I actually have 2 courses in April, but these are mostly private courses. And we open courses to the public about once a quarter. Our January session was a huge success. We actually had people from India, the Emirates, Ireland, the Netherlands, South Africa, lots of places in the US, and even Hawaii. In previous courses, we had people all the way as far as New Zealand and Australia. So this course literally changes trajectories of people's work around. It changes the trajectory of companies, and it's really a transformative course. We've been teaching it for 2 years, since April of 2023, and hundreds or maybe even thousands of business leaders have taken the course. And the course is 4 sessions of 2 hours every Monday at noon Eastern. And in 4 weeks, you're going to completely change everything you know about AI, from concepts to strategy to tools and systems and processes, things like Margarida is going to teach us right now, but across multiple aspects of the business. And you're going to leave in the end with a plan, with an actual checklist on how to implement AI successfully company-wide. We had people, solopreneur, join this course, and we have people who are C-suite in Fortune 500 companies and publicly traded companies on NASDAQ and everything in between. So if you are looking for a way to accelerate your understanding of how to implement AI successfully in your business, don't miss this opportunity. There's going to be a link in the show notes to go and find the course. And if you use the promo code leveraging AI100, you will get $100 off for being a listener of this podcast. That's it on the course. Again, thanks to everybody for joining us live. Margarida, the stage is yours. Show us your magic, how we can create amazing videos using AI tools.
Okay, thank you. Let's go. Let's start by sharing my screen. Let me know if you are seeing it.
Yep.
Great. So I'm going to start by showing the end results, the first and some of the campaigns that I've done to create awareness about the things I was telling you before.
Pollution has turned my rivers into toxic sludge pools. Not exactly the spa day I was hoping for. We snakes like to keep things clean and slithery. Can you help us clean up this mess before I have to start wearing a hazmat suit?
So I want to pause you just for 1 second for those of you who are just listening to this thing. So you were listening to a voice of a person speaking, but on screen, what we're seeing a mesh, if you want, between a woman and a snake, and it looks stunning. Like, the visual aspect of this is incredible. It literally looks like a woman half turned into a snake, speaking in a natural voice with her lips moving and everything, delivering her message. And so again, if you're driving, keep listening. We're going to explain everything we're seeing, but it's worth afterwards at least clicking on some of these examples.
Yeah. Next, I'm going to show another species. It's in danger because it's a victim of abuse, like in the cosmetic areas.
I'm Gigi. Our burrows used to be safe, but now they're being destroyed by urban expansion. Many of us have lost our families and homes. We need green spaces to thrive. Let's work together to protect them.
Amazing.
All the videos end with like the caption, to make a difference, visit a trustful organization, where you can also learn what you can do to help this, to help and change and make a difference in the animals' lives. So this one.
Hello, I'm Grace. My towering home in the forest is disappearing, cut down for timber and farmland. We've lost so much of our beautiful canopy. It's getting harder to find food and shelter. Please help us save our forests before they're all gone.
They are all very short and simple. So
Climate change is messing with my flower fashion show. It's hard to find the perfect petals when everything's wilting. Help us protect our delicate blooms so we can keep fluttering fabulously.
So again, those of you not watching this, we saw a woman that is, again, a cross between a woman and a giraffe, and now a butterfly. And they all really are amazing from a visual perspective, but they have a human face and they're actually speaking naturally, even though they're a cross between an animal and a person. Very cool.
and now the panda one. It's the last one before we go into the demo.
Greetings. I'm a panda hybrid called Ali. My bamboo buffet is running out, and trust me, it's not easy finding good takeout in the forest these days. We pandas need our all-you-can-eat bamboo feasts. Help us save our bamboo before we have to start a panda food delivery service.
I love it. I love the little humor in it. I love like literally everything about these videos. And again, I think on the broader scale, the beauty of this, whatever you're selling, whether it's an important idea like this or something in business, the ability to make it funny, the ability to touch the emotional side of people and get them to emotionally connect is amazing. And I'm very curious to see the process on how you created those. And I'm sure so is everybody else on the chat.
Yeah, I think the trick is always there because we are talking about serious things. But if you just speak about the bad thing, sometimes people just, okay, this is too much, too sad, I don't want to see it anymore. When you are creating campaigns with this kind of message, I think if you input there some irony or some humor, it can have more engagement to the audience. So I think that's something for any creator to keep in mind because it can really make a difference. So how do I start all of this? I use a lot of Gen AI tools. One of the ones that I like the most is MidJourney. I use it daily. It's here where I created my first hybrids. You have a lot of different ways to create the prompt to generate the images you saw. These ones I've done yesterday just to show here, but I have here my search of the ones that I've done all over the years. So you can see these ones are for last year. They are very different. I also have my plants, my hybrid plants. And the way you can play and tweak the prompts also makes a difference. And I don't know if everyone in the audience is aware or knows how to work with MidJourney. It has changed all over the years with the model versions. Most of the people try to use the latest version because it's the more compelling, it has the best results in terms of aesthetic. But because I'm using MidJourney since almost the beginnings, I've been playing with some of the versions. And for this case, for my hybrids, what I tend to see is using older versions of the model with my prompts, we get a better result. Here, I think I'll have this ones or with more aquatic examples, the bunnies you saw there, the snakes. So let me show you how I usually start to do this kind of images. So I'll go here. Sometimes I use a lot of ChatGPT to help me. In this case, I already asked him to give me a list of exotic animals. From here, I have a different animal that I want to explore. I like to have true information about the things I'm talking about, and I also do my own research. So I'm going to ask him to provide me a list of the most endangered, vulnerable, and critical animal species worldwide. Also ask him to give me the numbers of the animals that are still in the wild or in captivity, and also to provide me the real data sources. So this will help me to understand a little more about the work I'm doing. In the end, when I'm going to post it on LinkedIn or on Instagram, in any social media, to have more information and reliable information about the things I'm going to talk to others.
While this is coming up, a few things to add. First of all, I think your process is fantastic, right? You start with proper research. Now, the only thing I will add is these days there's deep research on most of these tools. So whether you're using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Grok, whichever one you want to use, They now have deep research capabilities, which will give you even a better research. And again, broadening what Margarida is showing, you can use this for product research, market research, niche research, competitive research, whatever research you want to do for your project, which could be something like this, or it could be a business project. You can do a lot of research with each and every one of these tools today that will give you a huge amount of information, go through hundreds of websites, and will summarize it to you into a quick and easy to digest report. That could be your starting point for your video and for your campaign.
Exactly. So after this, I got a bunch of information. In my case, I already know the ones that I want to have the image for. So now that I absorb the information, I am more aware of the content of the things that I want to work on. I'm going to ask for it to give me detailed MidJourney prompts to create this kind of highly realistic hybrid portraits of humans, and in this case, felines, because I want to work with leopards, lioness, or maybe the giraffe. Let's see how ChatGPT can help me. Again, I don't use ChatGPT to create my own prompts, but I think this can be a huge starting point for anyone to learn some of the key words or even phrases that you can later on MidJourney tweak and put in your own words. So let's see what it gets to us.
While we're waiting for this, again, for everybody who do not know, ChatGPT themselves just came out with an incredible image generator that was not available until 2 days ago as the recording of this episode, that does a really good job in creating images, in mashing images together, in replicating existing images, in editing existing. It just does really amazing, including high quality text, which is very problematic on many of the platforms, including MidJourney. So I know, Margarida, right now your process is in MidJourney, and I love MidJourney as well. But just so everybody knows, again, Gemini came out with a very powerful capability a few weeks ago, and now they've added additional capability in their experimental world on Google AI Studio that you can do more stuff with. So you have lots of options as far as how you can create these kind of images, including in ChatGPT itself, potentially.
Yeah, true. And if we have time, I'm going to try to use one of the images here on ChatGPT just to show what it can do. Yeah, so let's see. Now ChatGPT gave me some prompts, and he also adds things like aspect ratio if you want to do things more horizontally or vertically. He also tells you that you can enhance the quality of the images and which version you should use to get more or less realism. Let's go to MidJourney. And I'm going here to my settings. I'm going to see if everything is okay with the things I want. I'm going to put the style raw active. I use this because it tends to ignore the automatically stylization that MidJourney owns itself. So I don't want him to use that. So I'm going to use the style raw. As it says, it's more raw and it can interpret better what you're writing. And I'm going to input one of my prompts.
Before you render it, let's read the prompt aloud so people understand.
Yeah, so it's a ultra realistic portrait of a human snow leopard hybrid, pale skin, blending seamlessly with soft white fur covered in snow leopard black rosettes, piercing icy blue eyes, feline nose and ears, elegant posture, studio black background, cinematic lighting, fashion editorial style, dramatic contrast, hyper detailed textures, 85 millimeters lens photography, soft focus on the edges.
So I want to pause for a second just to explain to people something very important about prompting for MidJourney versus prompting the way we used to prompt for ChatGPT. A few things. You can see, first of all, it's very descriptive. You don't write sentences. You write facts and things that you want in the image. So you don't say, please create an image of a blah, 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 blah. You literally just state the things you want in the image. But the more descriptive you are, the more adjectives you use, the more information you give it, such as the camera, the lens, the lighting, the background, the soft edges, all the things that are more the way a photographer would think on framing an image will give you a better output with what you're doing. So these are like the main difference between prompting in like a large language model versus prompting a hardcore image generator like MidJourney in this particular case.
Exactly. And there are a few tricks to see how MidJourney interprets the prompt and what are the words it uses to create. So let's see here. So the prompt I give it, we see the results. MidJourney always creates you 4 images per prompt. So you can see the results, but these are more like what I want because I don't want an animal dressed with human clothes. I want an animal that has a human body. So
Yep.
I'm going to test another one, and then I'm going to tell what this new prompt is. Hyper-realistic portrait of a human leopard hybrid, golden yellow fur with rich dark rosette spots, intense amber eyes, feline facial structure, sleek and powerful body, dramatic low-key lighting, dark background, fashion photography aesthetic, high contrast, intricate fur detail, editorial mood, and Rembrandt lightning. Let's hit enter,
And again,
submit.
for those of you who are like, oh my God, how can I think of a prompt like that? The way you do this is you copy somebody else's as a template, and then you drop it into a ChatGPT, and then you ask it for what you want in the image, and it will come up with all those details for you in the beginning until you learn and you can figure it out on your own.
It's refresh on the page, and you can see the difference of the things. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to use the prompts that I asked before to ChatGPT. I'm going to copy, we used the, let's see, the lioness. Let's copy the prompt he gave me a few minutes ago, and now let's try that.
So we're literally just asked ChatGPT to give us a prompt in step 1 after the research, where it has the context of what is it that we're trying to do. And now we're literally just copying and pasting. It's not something that Margarida is writing. It's literally the prompt as it came from ChatGPT.
I think this one will give us a more fashion look because I'm seeing here like bold gold jewelry, elegant silhouettes. So I think we're going wild and crazy here, but let's hit the result. This will be the last one we'll try, and we'll go choose one of the images I already pre-choose to continue our demo.
By the way,
I think-
for those of you who are not using MidJourney, has like a fast rendering mode, which is what we're using right now, which you get X number a day. If you're not going crazy, you'll do most of your renderings in the fast mode, which actually happens really fast.
Yeah, I didn't get wrong the interpretation of the prompt because I told we were going to have a more fashionable, and the animal, it's not here. So I think it's also important to see that even when ChatGPT looks like it's giving you the right things, you have to know how to interpret it and tweak the prompt. So I'm going to pick one of the oldest that I used, and you can see that the prompt is very much simpler. I'm going to click here, use the text, and the prompt is a portrait of an anthropomorphic lioness, and the word anthropomorphic makes all the difference in this kind of prompts. With a human body, wearing casual, looking straight ahead at the camera against a gray background in the style of, and you can use it or not. I think for those who are not aware of MidJourney is every time you use, like in any other tool, you use a prompt, the results are never the same. So you can use and reuse the same prompt and you will always get different outcomes. So let's submit again. Let's see the difference between the one we had previously and the one we have. Because I already have the images that I really want. Let's see here in organized. The ones that I prefer and that I look and see that for a kind of animation, they will work better. In my point of view, I think it will be this one because she's looking straight to the camera. We have a good definition of the character with the background. So I think this is a winner to keep. So I'm going to keep it in my folder. And This one, I also liked it a lot. I think in terms of animation, it can work. It's always a question if it will really work or not. It's the randomness of working with AI, the unknown of that result. I think anyone who tells you that you can have absolute control, we're not there yet, but we're coming closer. So the thing I do next is that I want to create a voiceover for my image. I want to create a message like a script for my hybrid to be talking. So what I do is I go again to my MidJourney, to my ChatGPT, sorry, and I ask him to give me a script for this kind of hybrid. I try to explain, to give him more context of the thing so he can understand what I'm talking about and what I really want, and the kind of feeling that I want the script to transmit. I can tell you, for those who are not watching, I'm asking him to create a short voiceover script for a fictional hybrid character, part human, part animal, designed using AI. The script should be poetic, mysterious, and emotionally engaging, like a reflection or monologue. I ask him to give me a tone of voice, and I want it to be a short script under 50 words. And in this case, I want him to reach out to Margarida Barreto to learn more, or now it's your turn to create. So I have here 3 scripts as I asked. Let's use the first one. So I pick up this script and then I go to one of my favorite tools to create voiceovers, that is 11 Labs. So we get to 11 Labs. I jump to go to app over here, text to speech. We put here our text. I like the voice of Laura, so I think I'm going with it, but you can choose a bunch of other voices and characters, but let's go with Laura.
Our distrust is very expensive.
I think I like the tone of voice. So let's generate speech.
So for those of you, again, just to recap the process until we wait for this to render, we started with research on ChatGPT on the topic. We continued to ask ChatGPT to help us write prompts from MidJourney. We created the images of the characters in MidJourney. We then went back to the same chat in ChatGPT because it keeps the context of what we were doing before, and ask it to help us write a script for that character that it help us describe how it looks. So again, it has the vision of all of that in its memory. And now we go to 11 Labs, which is an incredible tool to create voiceovers. You can replicate your own voice. You can use one of their voices. For each voice, you can control 20 different parameters on how the voice will be, how fast, how slow, what pitch, what emotion you want it to have, and stuff like that. So you have a lot of control on how this will come out. You just paste your text, or you can just type your text if you want to, and then it will create a voice for you, which we can already listen to, I think.
It's already generated the voice. And now what we are going to do is going to where the other magic is done. So we're going to jump to Edra. They now launched the Edra Character 3 that in terms of giving emotion to facial expression, it's fantastic. But even before this Character 3 was launched, in terms of facial expressions, I think it was one of the best tools to create avatars with input images. So going to Edra, and the good thing is, as you've seen with 11 Labs, you can use it for free with credits. I think they have free credits for a month, I believe. It's 400 credits for free per month. When you log in, you can create a free account. You log in here, and you came across this screen. Here you can choose what kind of model you want to use. Unfortunately, because of a high demand of users using Edra Character 3, now it's only available for someone who has an account, a subscription. But I think they will soon go back to also to give it to the ones who don't have an account, a subscription. So I'm using Edra Character 3 here. I choose it. I want my video to be square. and I'm going to upload my image frame. So I'm going to click here. I already have here my images. Let's try with this one. And I'm going to upload the audio that I already have from 11 Labs, the one we produced previously. I'm going to click here and add to the video. And you have here an input box where you can also add the kinds of emotion or movements that you want also to give to your character while he's speaking. So if you hit here, inspire me, it gives you some tips in what you can use, like person jumps and down happily. I don't think this will be cool to or raise both hands with concern. No, but I think person looks happy, or I think character is happy. And let's hit enter, and now we'll have to wait for a while for him to produce the video.
I got a couple of questions while we're waiting for this. And I think I will start with, what have you tried longer text? What is like the best practices when using this process? So you told us a few things on the image side. On the image side, it's facing forward, clear lines, obvious lips because it makes the lips move. So if you don't have that, it will look weird. What's on the audio side that you can tell us as best practices to make this work the best way?
Curious thing, the video we are producing now, the character, I don't know if you noticed, the character is not looking straight forward to the camera.
Yep.
Because I want the audience to see that with this Hedra character 3, everything is almost possible. But you can have more risks doing this. So preferentially use a character or an image looking up front to the camera. In terms of audio, my tip is to create short scripts. Like if you are creating not frame by frame, but 5 seconds, 5 seconds, then try to cut them and not to create long texts. Because from my experience, what I tend to see is that with longer texts, the character itself starts to perform not so good in terms of consistency in the whole video. So it's better for create like divides, understand what is the message you want to deliver, and try to create smaller paragraphs. And then combine them in the end with another program like CapCut or even Premiere, and assembly all the videos that you have together. So our video is ready. Let's see, because she was on a profile view.
I woke in whispers, half shadow, half dream, crafted from whispers of code and the wilderness within. Am I human or beast, or something beautifully in between? My heartbeat hums with wonder at being imagined into existence. Now, it's your turn to create.
I think it turned up well. I think she's not smiling as I asked it.
Now, I'll say something very cool about this. Again, for those of you who are not watching and just listening to this, the character started with not even a 45, but like a 60-degree, almost like a side view. That was the image that we uploaded. But when she's speaking, she's turning her head towards the camera and back and forth from there, which meaning it makes up the rest of the face, right? It doesn't know what's in there. And that what makes it look a lot more realistic, because it's not stuck in that sideways position. It's actually turning its head around, which makes it look a lot more realistic.
Totally. And that is a surprise, because the software Edra, it doesn't have the other side of the face.
Yeah.
So he was able to recreate it accurately. That. Now let's just do another different thing. So I'm going to upload again an image frame, and I'm going to upload the lioness that we saw before.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to not upload an audio, but I'm going to generate a speech directly here. And I'm going to choose a voice.
Just trust yourself, then you will know how to live.
I think we can go with Alice. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use the one I've done previously.
Okay.
I'm going to type here. We can click here to generate the audio.
So again, for those of you who are just listening and not watching, what we're doing right now is basically circumventing or skipping 11 Labs. The direct tool knows how to do the same work as well. And so my question to you is, what are the benefits of 11 Labs versus this in creating the voice aspect of it?
I think if we are talking about free versions, free subscriptions, maybe in terms of difference of voices, it's not very different between one or the other. The best thing here is that you can have everything in just one tool. So you don't have to use a bunch of tools to create a voice in one, then download and upload here. And here you can do all directly in the same thing. But I think it's a matter of choice and preference between, okay, I'm so used to use 11 Labs, or I have an account there and I can create different voices in different languages, or okay, I'm okay with just creating with the voices that I have here and generate the speech itself in Hadra. So I think we already generated it. I'm going to add to the video. So it generated the audio with the script I gave. And now I'm not going to put any emotional here, but you can have a lot of things to add here. You can say she's trying to hide a smile, as a disappointment face, looks like surprise or angry. You can name it. So let's see.
While we're waiting for this, again, I want to generalize it for a minute for the audience to marketing of like products and services. Again, the concepts are exactly the same. You can create whatever character that will connect emotionally with your ICP. You can research your ICP, your ideal client persona, your target audience with ChatGPT, with deep research, with whatever other tool that you want to use. Get that understanding of what characters will connect the best, ICP will connect with. Create those characters in MidJourney or other tools, and then be able to create a voice that will probably connect the best. So female, high pitch, low pitch, whatever you want, or you can create a few and test them out as A/B testing and see what people actually resonate with, because it doesn't require a studio or actors or any of that, because you can just test a few and then test them out. And then based on that, you will know later on what videos and what voices work better for your target audience. And now you can create them at scale, because now you have this machine with all the different steps that Margarida showed us that you can run again and again to deliver more segments, more parts of the message, dive deeper to specific things, generalize others. Literally whatever you want can be doable. I think the really magical thing in what you've done here beyond just a person is you've created these, what you call hybrids, right? So it's not a person that you could actually put in a studio. To do this in a studio, you need to work at Disney, right? This would have taken 4 hours of just makeup to create something like this. And you can create it in minutes and have multiple variations of these characters, which again, in some scenarios would work good for a business application as well.
Yeah. And one of the challenges that I've known from the start when trying to animate my characters, my hybrids, was because a lot of tools that create this kind of lip sync and synchronization, they don't work well with hybrids or monsters. Sometimes they don't identify where is the mouth, they don't recognize a face. And what made me a huge fan since the beginning of Edra was this, because even the most strangest monster that I uploaded here, he recognized it as a face and give it a voice. So we already have our lioness. Let's see the results.
Wait, I wonder, did you enjoy discovering how to create a hybrid like me? A voice, a shape, a soul, all summoned with the power of artificial intelligence. If you're curious, if you dare to go further, reach out to Margarida Barreto. Until then, create wisely.
This is a perfect example that not always the things go.
It doesn't always get the mouth okay. Some of the sections it did actually.
Yeah, if we have time and while we still here chatting, I can upload the other one. I'm going to upload a different audio. I think it's this one. Add to video, and let's see.
So while we're waiting for that, first of all, this was incredible. I think your process is amazing. I think the capabilities that it opens are endless. And we didn't even talk about the fact that you can add B-roll to this and just add different backgrounds. And there's so many things that you can do today with these tools because it's almost endless. While we're waiting for this to render, if people want to follow you, if they want to connect with you, if they want to know more about you, if they want to work with you, what are the best ways to do that?
Yeah, people can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm very daily on LinkedIn or Instagram. I like to share a lot of the things I'm working or sometimes the new tools because as we were speaking in the beginning, it's very difficult for each one of us to be trying all the tools that are getting out daily. It's not weekly, it's daily. It's crazy. It's impossible for us to keep pace of it. So I think we all talking together, one's trying videos, other images, 3D is also there. I think it's a way for us to connect and to help each other and learn with each other. It's very important in that case. And as we were speaking about, and while we were waiting for the video, let's see if ChatGPT is going to help me with something that I want him to do. I'm asking him to put some text in an image. Let's use this one.
Hey, again, those of you who missed the beginning or didn't pay attention, there's a new capability within ChatGPT. You got to pick GPT 4.0, I think. If you pick 4.5, I don't know if it's going to work. So you probably want to change that, Margarita. But then you can create images that are stunning, and it's actually really good at creating text compared to most of these models, which are usually not great.
What I'm asking him is to place a full width text in bold white over the image that I already done with MidJourney. The text should say, give us a voice.
And so while we're waiting for this, let's go back to the other one. It's probably finished rendering. And let's watch the zebra.
Wait, I wonder, did you enjoy discovering how to create a hybrid like me? A voice, a shape, a soul, all summoned with the power of artificial intelligence. If you're curious, if you dare to go further, reach out to Margarida Barreto. Until then, create wisely.
That's
Very
cool.
exaggerated, but this one worked. And you can see the lip sync, it's way better. I think the lion with the jaw was very difficult for it to interpret. But I think if we
Like
go
I said,
here,
I think the cool thing is you can run this 20 times until one of them is good, because every one of them is going to be slightly different, and you can tweak your prompt or your emotional thing, and then eventually one of them will be right. And people say, oh, I need to do this 20 times. I'm like, yeah, doing this in the studio will have taken you 6 weeks. Running this 20 times will take you half an hour. You'll be done. And so it's still a very, very good choice from an ROI perspective to generate these kind of videos. Let's jump back to ChatGPT quickly. This is amazing. ChatGPT took the image that was uploaded, added the text that was requested, and now it looks like a professional ad. And I think the only thing, I had this conversation with several people already, I think the only thing it's missing, and if I had to guess, they will give it to us shortly, is for it to have the ability to work in quote unquote layers, where then once this image is created, you can grab the text and move it around and shrink it and twist it and turn it and do whatever you want. Once they do that, and again, I'll be really surprised if they don't, then it's game over for more or less any design software out there, from Adobe tools to Canva to whatever else you can think of, because it will be able to create anything you want, text, images, overlays, depth, backgrounds, and gives you the control on the different components. Even now, it's probably puts a lot of software at risk. But let's go back to our topic. This was really fantastic, Margarita. Thank you so much. I'm sure people learned a lot. I hope that a lot of people will go and experiment with this for whatever it is their project is, whether it's for business or trying to save the world or playing with their kids or whatever it is that they want to do. You give us a very easy process to follow that really doesn't require any background or any information or any previous skills to produce really cool, interesting talking faces, monsters, characters aligned with specific research that you've done before. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us.
oh, I'm the one who thank you. And I hope, yes, I did inspire others and they learned something and they want to, try for themselves and maybe start to also spread the word about the things and the causes they think that matter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, thanks everybody for joining us live here or for listening to the podcast. Don't forget, if you're interested in the course, to go and check it out in the link in the show notes, and we will see you again next time. Thanks, everybody.